This lady lived in the United States and had a couple of children. She had already hired almost 7 babysitters and could not believe why there was already the 6th person doing the same thing to her. Why was this phenomenon happening? She felt tears streaming down her face. She had to find out what was going on, but she could never have prepared herself for the real reason behind it. Bryce Evans was a mother trying to juggle her job with being a mother. It was never as easy as she was a single mother and needed to get her family ahead and have something on the table to eat, but she had to do it to make ends meet. Her marriage had already ended unexpectedly, and after a long interview process, one woman seemed perfect for the job. The lady who had hired this mother had good experience and would be caring for her 1-year-old daughter Kirby and Mary, who was 6 years old. Lisa was hired and Bryce could finally relax, but things would not go according to plan. Bryce counted her blessings in finding Lisa when she did. After only a few weeks, she almost felt like part of the family. She felt like she could finally focus on her work during the day. She no longer had to take her children to preschool or other activities, but that's when something unexpected would happen. After only 3 weeks, Lisa the nanny left the mother a message that left her speechless. Lisa reported that she was resigning from the job and asked that her last paycheck be prepared for her. When Bryce got home, Lisa left without even saying goodbye. But what had happened? Had she been treated badly? Her mother always treated everyone as part of the family and seemed to be happy to babysit, but now she had left. Only after some convincing did Lisa explain that her daughter Mary was the reason she had quit. But why had a 6-year-old girl made a nanny quit? She couldn't believe it. She had to stand up for her daughter. She told Lisa that she was being unprofessional and had to start the hiring process all over again from scratch, but after 6 months, she would be on the verge of tears again. That was when, for 6 months, every 3 weeks there was a new nanny quitting, and within a week she had to find a new one. I didn't understand what was going on. The nannies would just come home and leave without a word. I knew children could be difficult to handle at times. Surely that was why they had been hired, but now it was beyond me why. Surely her children were no worse than the others, or did she have a Tasmanian devil breeding in the house? Why did all the nannies come to the same conclusion? Janet was the 7th nanny, and Bryce, the mother, knew this time would be different. It was strange for a child who could be tender with her mother and also with her sister. How could she make the nannies give up to the point that they didn't even want to explain themselves? But already the lady wanted to change the conditions of the game, and that was when she started to check the 7th nanny. She installed hidden cameras all over the house. So after installing cameras everywhere, she wanted to see if her beloved daughter, beautiful and like a saint, could really make another 7th nanny quit. The new nanny seemed to enjoy the job with no problems, but like all previous nannies, within 2 weeks of starting the job, she quit. At least now she could see why this nanny quit like all the others, but what she would find on the recording would give her goosebumps. Bryce's eyes got huge the more she watched the video. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. Mary had never acted like this with her, so she had no reason to believe the nanny's vague accusations. For the first week, Mary behaved like an angel, but by the end of the 2nd week, Bryce couldn't even recognize her own daughter. Bryce watched as Janet politely asked Mary to pass her the baby's diaper bag because she had her hands full, but the little girl screamed at her. "You can't tell me what to do! You're a daughter of a bitch! I'm your boss, motherfucker!" When Janet asked Mary to do something like wash her hands before eating or get ready for school, Mary would refuse in a furious but devil-may-care manner. The number of vulgarities she uttered did not seem normal, even for a teenager, but this was a 6-year-old girl who talked like she was a boss, but not like a good boss. She sounded like a devil herself. The last straw for the 7th nanny was the day she quit. Janet was asking Mary to calm down as Mary was running around and making noise, asking her to please be quiet because her little brother had just fallen asleep. And Mary told her, "I'm your boss, you son of a b****. I'll have you fired," Mary screamed in the nanny's face. The mother watched as Janet tried to calm the situation and then reached for her phone. Bryce, Mary's mother, sat down next to her and explained that she had to respect her nanny no matter what. She showed her the evidence that she had misbehaved and tried to talk to her calmly. She asked the 6-year-old if she thought her behavior was acceptable, but Mary's response absolutely floored her. "We pay her. I'm her boss," the girl replied. Where had the behavior come from? Who had taught her such a thing if the mother was never like that? While the mother scrambled to find a babysitter to take her place, there was no one to take Mary to swimming lessons. When the little girl complained, Bryce pointed out that it was her fault. She is the reason her nanny quit, and until she can find someone new, she won't be able to do the fun activities her nanny took her to, vented the furious mom in a Facebook parent group. But was that punishment enough to fix the problem? She was furious with her daughter and let her daughter know it. Several things were taken away from her, and she didn't do anything remotely funny. But here's where I make a point, and I really look at the parents of the United States as they are. The gringos with their children are, "Son, calm down, do not talk like that to your nanny." Instead, imagine a Latin American dad. How much embarrassment would not have put a child like this? The mother decided to continue with the punishments. She took away all her games, took away all her toys. She even had to change her school because her classmates suffered bullying because of Mary. Her actions shocked someone enough to make her quit a job she was paid to do. She had tarnished her reputation, as word was spreading around town that this girl was the worst child a nanny could care for. There were even sites where many nannies were warning against babysitting this girl, as even the mother was defending her. The reviews were so terrible that there were nannies posting, "Beware, there are kids in the rich part of town that have friends that make you feel bad. The kids are very spoiled. I had talks with the parents and told her that they could deal with her on their end, but if they wanted me to continue babysitting, I would also have to do a lot of leveling for them." But the parents resisted, and simply what they did was defend their daughter. Until a scientist and psychologist had to step into the situation, and this is what she posted. Maybe the girl didn't feel that her needs were being met. For example, she might have felt that she was not being listened to, that she had lost all autonomy over even the smallest decisions that clashed with her personality, or most likely that she felt a bit abandoned by her parents. So could this mother have handled the whole situation differently? Also, the psychologist noted that while most single mothers need childcare help and are not abandoning their children when they get help, it might have been understandable that Mary might have felt let down by her mother leaving her in someone else's care. Vicky noted that Mary might have felt especially resentful about the whole situation when her mother did not adequately explain to her the reasons why she needed a babysitter. Vicky said that it is very important for parents to always explain to each other why they are making decisions and scenarios, and this is especially true when they may affect them emotionally. Instead of expecting Mary to accept a sitter, it had to be explained to her exactly why she needed to find a babysitter. So Bryce should have told Mary that she needed one because she had to work hard to pay for dolls, swimming lessons, food, etc. And that's when children reason. They may not have the logic of an adult, but of course they reason like any other human being. And that is because their brain field is activated when they are taught, and things are explained to them in detail. The psychologist also advised the mom to remind her daughter how emotionally secure and loved she is, that it is key to make her feel secure because, personally, children hate having a nanny because they feel like they are bossed around by any kind of person, and even more so when they have 7 different nannies in a short amount of time. They lose that mother figure, and they feel that any kind of person can impose authority on them, and children don't like that, and that can hurt certain areas of their life. And they end up in this kind of situation where 7 nannies end up reacting in a bad way at the same time.